This is Tucker from the Math and Physics Resource Center at SVSU, and in this video we're going to go over factoring by grouping. So factoring by grouping is generally used when we have four terms in an equation. The grouping comes in when we start the factoring. So with four terms we can't really do the usual factoring methods that we've learned already. With four terms, grouping works best because we can factor two individual things and then merge them together at the end, and it'll make the entire factorization. So the first step is to split it into two different groups. So first we have the x cubed plus x squared, and then we're going to add that 3x plus 3 group. So if we factor this one out, we can see that these each have a common factor of x squared, because we have an x cubed and an x squared. So we can pull that x squared out and get x plus 1. And then over here we have a 3 and a 3. So we can pull that out and get x plus 1 on the inside. Oops. So now, since both of these terms have an x plus 1, we can really factor that out of it. Bring that x plus 1 outside, and now we're left with that x squared plus 3. So we'll have x squared plus 3. And now this is our factorization. Once you get to this step, you'll want to make sure that neither of these terms can be factored any more than they already are, but we'll get to that later. So moving on to example 2, again, it's a four-term equation. So first we'll start out by grouping. So we have 3x cubed plus 6x squared. And then we want to make sure that we're keeping in mind this negative 4. So we'll be subtracting 4x minus 8. Or we can really write it as adding a negative 4x minus 8. So now we'll get into the factoring again. Both of these terms have a factor of 3 and a factor of x squared. So we'll pull that entire term out. It leaves us with x plus 2 on the inside. And now this one, we have a negative 4x and a negative 8, both of which share a negative 4. So we can subtract 4 times another x plus 2. And again, we'll condense it into these two terms like the last time. So we'll have 3x squared minus 4 as one term, and then that x plus 2 that's left over. So example 3, again, four terms. If we start out by grouping, we can see that all of these terms have an x in them, right? So that kind of gives us a hint as to what's going to happen at the end. So with this group, we can pull out a 2x cubed, because there's a factor of 2 and a factor of x cubed. So 2x cubed times x plus 3. And for this term, or for this group, sorry, we've got 9 as a factor in both, and an x as a factor in both. So we'll add 9x times x plus 3 again. So once again, we'll just condense these terms. So we get 2x cubed plus 9x and x plus 3. Now, remember what I said at example 1, we want to make sure that once we get to the end, neither of these terms are factorable. So x plus 3, that's already down to the bottom. But 2x cubed plus 9x, there's still a common factor in there that we can take out. So we can pull that 1x out, which leaves us with 2x squared plus 9 times that x plus 3 that stays. And this is the full factorization of that example. So overall, once you see an equation with four terms, you'll want to see if you can do grouping, because in my opinion it's the easiest method for a four-term equation. that's about it. Thank you for watching.